As a big fan of Pokemon and life sim games like Animal Crossing, Pokopia has been on my mind since its reveal in the September 12th Nintendo Direct. I've watched the trailer several times over, and I've made a lot of discoveries, so I thought I'd do a little deep dive to check out what secrets this trailer might be hiding. Pokopia is developed by Koei Tecmo, the studio that co-developed the Dragon Quest Builders games. It shares a lot of visual similarities to those games and contains some of its building elements, I think, but it seems slanted a little more in the Animal Crossing, like life sim direction than the Minecraft RPG sort of direction of Builders. A lot of the items, plants, and structures are very similar to the Animal Crossing style, and the reveal trailer clearly takes heavy inspiration from the New Horizons reveal trailer. At the start of the trailer, in what appears to be the opening cinematic, Ditto appears in this flash of light, having narrowly avoided capture. The other objects around it look like discarded items that have been in this cave for a while, so it seems like you as Ditto have been summoned here to develop this land, or maybe you've been pushed forward in time or something? I don't know. At first, I thought the Pokedex was just here to provide context for why the Ditto takes a human form, and now I'm not so sure, but we'll get back to that. So when Ditto first arrives in town, there's already fencing, laid paths, and staircases. We also see wood blocks and some piles of broken logs that might have once been houses. This, plus the discarded items from earlier, all seem to indicate that there was once a civilization here and it's since been abandoned, which is why I said maybe Ditto was sent to the future, as maybe Ditto is from this time and then was warped ahead somehow. I don't know, that's a wild speculation. We aren't just building a new town in this game, we're sort of rebuilding over the old one. And just an additional note right here is that paths work a little bit more like Minecraft blocks than in Animal Crossing, so instead of placing them on top of blocks, they're full blocks that you place down, as you can see here with this brick tile which shows through the stairs. So we can climb about a block high, it seems, but we'll have to use stairs or vines or maybe a Pokemon ability if we want to access taller platforms more easily. Stairs also seem to be single blocks that can be combined to make larger staircases rather than one staircase that you plunk down like in an Animal Crossing. You can also place blocks to form bridges, so I think the block-based nature of this game is actually going to give you a lot of flexibility in how you shape the world. We can see an onyx coming out of a tunnel through the cliff, and there's an overhang that you can stand under when you see this waterfall scene, so it seems like you'll be able to make caves and tunnels and all sorts of cool things. We actually see a little bit of that later in the trailer. As far as planting goes, it seems like there's 5-ish plant types, I guess 6 if you count the vines, but there's grass, bushes, flowers, trees, and crops. So tall grass can be planted so more Pokemon will appear. Throughout the trailer, we see Pokemon hanging out in environments that suit their typical habitat, like the water Pokemon we see dancing in the rain and hanging on the beach. I wouldn't be surprised if creating a certain environment in your town makes it more likely for specific types of Pokemon to spawn. We also see bushes and flowers to add beauty to your town. Those might attract Pokemon that thrive in a meadow-like environment, like grass-type Pokemon or bug types, fairies, normal type. And there's even flowers that can be planted on water, like these water lilies, which I thought was really cool. There seem to be fruit trees, cedar trees, and palm trees, as well as this dead tree that we see over here, so maybe there's more tree types that we haven't seen yet that are in different sort of environments. The fruit trees, interestingly, all grow Lepa berries, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's sort of an Animal Crossing type thing where you have a town fruit and other towns have orange berries or pecha berries, and then you can interact with people online and trade your berries, and so you can grow more diverse fruit. But maybe it's just Lepa, I don't know. When you're doing crops, ground type Pokemon seem to till the dirt, grass types plant them, and then water types help you water them. The crops also seem to glow to indicate they've been watered. And at first I thought the crops were just carrots, tomatoes, wheat, and potatoes, but if you look closely, you can spot peas and what looks like special flowers or something. It's hard to see them too clearly, but considering there's a few food items that are used as decoration, I wouldn't be surprised if cooking is also a game mechanic. As far as town building goes, we've seen a few types of buildings. We mostly see basic houses, including this corner of a log cabin in one shot, but we also get a glimpse at a Pokemon Center, which is really interesting to me. I can't tell if it's just a variant building exterior, or if there are several types of buildings we can place, like shops or cafes. And what is a Pokemon Center in this game? Is it a doctor's office, hospital, run by and for Pokemon? Is it a town hall of sorts, or a community center? I'm really curious to get an answer on that one. And also, just a side note here, it looks like this shot's giving us a look at the building interiors, and if so, that means buildings can have windows that look out into your town, which I I just think that's really cool. Other than buildings, there are other large structures you can use to decorate your town. We see large windmills and a water wheel, which may just be for show, but it also might have some larger gameplay mechanic tied to them, like an energy generation for your town or something, but we can only really speculate for now. And fences have gates, which that's just nice. In a lot of life sim games, the decoration items require a certain number of like free spaces on a grid to be placed, and they can't overlap. But in the shot of the beach, we see umbrellas giving shade to chairs that they don't seem like connected to, so it seems maybe multiple items can be placed near each other as long as their hitboxes don't collide, which would be really awesome. And then finally, I want to talk about this. The Ditto Boy holding the Pokedex in this final shot. It got me thinking about how the Pokedex might play a more important role in this game than I kind of initially thought. The way I see it, there's sort of 3 options for what the Pokedex could be used for. The most basic idea is that it functions the same way it does in the main games. It's an encyclopedia of Pokemon, and new town residents fill it out the same way that like many life sim games have their own encyclopedias of critters and collectibles. Slightly more out there is the idea that it functions like the phone in New Horizons, and it opens up a menu with like options that you can cycle through. Since your character clearly got outfit inspiration from the picture on the Pokedex in the start, maybe it's even where you do customization and you can open up a menu that lets you change your hair or your outfit color. My wildest speculation is I think it's deeper than that. There's a lot of Pokemon in your town. While this isn't sort of easygoing, at your own pace life sim game, I think there is a goal, and the ultimate goal is to create a paradise for all Pokemon. So I think the Pokedex might function kind of like Legends Arceus, where there's like completion tasks, but instead of seeing a Pokemon eat a berry or use a move, it shows what features a Pokemon needs in a habitat for you to be able to get them in your town. So it might say like needs running water, or needs a hot spring, or needs a certain amount of trees, or a certain berry or something, a certain plant that might bring it into the town. Maybe that's nothing. Maybe I'm way overthinking it and it's not that, but that's just where my brain went. But for now, that's all the big stuff that stood out to me. I'm super excited for this game, and I can't wait to hear more. If you noticed anything I didn't, just let me know in the comments. And if you think I'm way off the mark and going wild on my speculation, then feel free to tell me what you think all this stuff actually is. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.